Lots cooking today, and someone's going to have to explain something to us today because I can't figure out for the life of me why a team that has lost more games than anybody else in the last 5 years is playing on Thanksgiving Thursday, is also playing on a Monday night in September, is also playing in London against Green Bay, while the New York Jets have a single primetime game not until December against the Jacksonville Jaguars. What? Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
I'm actually annoyed about this.
You're annoyed about it.
I like standalone games. I like primetime games.
Well, and they're playing more primetime games than the New York Jets.
So you're making a mistake. When you make this a Jet-Giant thing, I'm sorry. The Jets have been as sucky as the Giants over the last half a decade. Let's not act like that's not been the case.
I don't like as sucky.
They have been.
A little less sucky.
No. They've been as sucky. The only difference is we as Jet fans have high expectations for this upcoming season, much like Giant fans had high expectations for last season.
Yeah.
And we know the way that turned out.
Yeah, I know exactly how that turned out. The New York Jets aren't getting any love at all. Does it matter? No, it does not one bit. You got to win games and prove them wrong and let people know the world wants to see the New York Jets. And while it's not a Jet versus Giant thing, they don't pick the schedules, it is another reminder that we are merely, pardon the pun, Evan, red-headed stepchildren that nobody cares about.
Why you got to do that?
Because that's what it is.
You couldn't think of another analogy?
That's the best one I got.
It's not just that the Jets have one primetime game. They have the most offensive, we're going to give you a nice little meal, Tommy, patronizing primetime game you could create. A Thursday night, a few days before Christmas.
Which they have to give you a Thursday night because every team gets one.
So we've got to give you Thursday night. We're going to stick you a few days before Christmas when no one gives a rat's ass. And we're going to set you up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's the most patronizing, insulting primetime game one could have.
It's also a W. So, I mean...
let's not do that.
We're going to take the W home that night. That's a lock. Don't do that. You can put that one down in your book right now. But it's just like, I recognize we've been an embarrassing franchise. We have been. Let's own it, right?
Yes.
But it seems like we had a great draft. I mean, everyone tells me we did. I thought we did on my own anyway. It seems like we're an up-and-coming team. How about a little love?
But you know what? You just said it, though. Just because we are happy about the draft and just because we're optimistic about this season, and I actually am, maybe not as optimistic as you, but I have excitement going into this season, and excitement I haven't had in a while. Just because we feel that way doesn't mean that every TV network feels that way. So clearly our excitement over the Jets being significantly better than what they've been for the last decade doesn't exactly translate with the suits at the NFL.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Giants, Cowboys is not a bigger draw than Jets, Cowboys, or not that they play.
No.
Jets, anybody else.
No, you're wrong about that.
I'm not wrong about that. The Giants suck.
They do suck.
Yeah,
but
so Giants, Cowboys means nothing to people in Chicago.
No, the Giants are a historic franchise.
Historically terrible.
And I got to tell you, even as a Jet fan, I'm excited about the Giants playing on Thanksgiving because in my lifetime, I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
I'm 38 years old. I can count on one hand how many times the Giants have played on Thanksgiving, and I don't even remember them playing the Cowboys. I think they did once in the early 90s and got blown out, but they had that Thursday night game against Washington a few years ago. Outside of that, the Giants never play on Thanksgiving, so I actually think it's sort of cool that they're playing on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, listen, I love primetime games. I love Thanksgiving games. I love all specialty games. So from that standpoint, it just made Thanksgiving better. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I'm not anti the Giants playing on Thanksgiving. For our purposes, I do happen to think it's great. I think it's absolutely great because I love the Thanksgiving game. I wish the New York Jets played on Thanksgiving every year, just like the Cowboys and Lions.
The only problem is the last two Thanksgiving games the Jets have played, they played the Cowboys in 2007 and got blown out. Yeah. And there was this other game I try to forget.
The butt fumble.
Yeah. You just got to
Jets
be blunt about it.
It was Jets Patriots.
Yes.
Yeah, Thursday night. It was a nighttime game. Mark Sanchez ran into his own man, fumbled the ball in the guy's ass. Yeah. And the Patriots returned it for a touchdown.
Yeah, you remember that very well, don't you?
I remember it very, very well. Yeah, fondly I remember it now. Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. Here's the other weird thing.
What?
What's the point of doing a schedule release event when you release the schedule well prior to the event releasing the schedule.
That's what bothered me 2 days ago. Like but
those are all Fugazi.
The fake ones that I was reading.
I'm talking like today.
Yeah,
the schedule's out.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. The schedule's out.
But over the last few days, like primetime games were leaking out. Now today, everything's leaking out. Like we have the entire Giants schedule. I think our old pal Mark Malusis was the first one to get every game 1 through 17. But you're right. I was excited for tonight. Tonight is supposed to be a schedule release event.
Not anymore.
And by the time we get to 8 o'clock tonight, we're going to know everything.
I mean, really, there's no reason to watch it now. I mean, I have no reason to watch it. I know the entire schedule.
Well, the one's part,
and it's already out.
The one game I haven't seen, and if you've seen it, definitely let me know, is what is opening up the NFL season?
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
What do you mean you're not going to tell me?
Well, I think you should wait for the schedule release event because I don't want to ruin your TV watching tonight.
Thank you, Craig.
And that's what. If I told you, then you'd know.
Then you'd spoil it for me.
Then you'd have nothing to do tonight. Am I wrong about that? Am I right about that?
I got basketball and Yankees to watch.
You don't really have basketball to watch. You said you gave up on basketball.
No, I still watch the NBA playoffs.
But you kind of intimated a few weeks ago that you weren't going to do that.
No, the one series I don't watch is Milwaukee-Boston.
Okay.
I know what happened last night. I know the Celtics choked. I know Drew Holiday's making big plays down the stretch. I know what happened. But everything else I'm into, I want to see the Sixers lose. What's wrong with that?
No, it's all good. I just thought you weren't watching. I apologize. There's only the one series you're not watching.
There's one series I'm boycotting because I'm a bitter little baby.
Milwaukee-Boston, you don't see it because you feel like, I should be there.
Yeah, I'm a bitter baby.
Wow. How come my team's not playing in that game?
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing I could watch is Kyrie Irving play video games on Twitch. Yeah, that's my basketball viewing potential.
Anyway, the New York Giants they got the London game, which, I hate. As you know, they have the week 3, they play the Dallas Cowboys. Monday night, that game is here, by the way, at MetLife Stadium. And then they're at Dallas. So both games against the Cowboys are national games. The Monday night game, week 3, and then Thanksgiving at Dallas.
There is one peculiar thing about the Giants' schedule.
Go.
Most of the time when you play a London game, you get the bye the following week. The Giants do not have that now. If memory serves correct, last year the Dolphins did not have their bye after playing in London, and it was their choice. They made a decision that, hey, we'd rather have the bye later in the year. So I assume the Giants actually made the decision
to
punt the bye for later in the season. Maybe they figured they didn't want the bye that early in the season.
It's only a couple weeks later, though. Yeah. Right? It's October 9th in London against Green Bay. Then they play the Ravens, the Jaguars, and Seattle. Then they have the bye week in week 9.
Yes, I think they wanted the bye at the halfway point of the season, which is probably the ideal time to have a bye week.
Take stock of what we are. I'll tell you what you are. Tennessee lost. Carolina won 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, 2-3, 2-4, 3-4. The New York Giants. How about this? You could be 500.
Look at that.
Going into that bye. No joke.
You didn't expect that.
No.
As you went to the schedule to do the win-loss, you were expecting like 2-7.
Dude, I'll do you one better. The New York Giants could go into the Thanksgiving game 6-4. That's legit. Well, I think the Giants are going to stink.
Well, if you look at strength of schedule based on last year, which means nothing. It really does. The Giants have one of the softest schedules in the NFL, but the problem is, you got to ask yourself, like you mentioned Carolina flippantly and said, that's a win.
Carolina's a garbage franchise.
Yeah, okay, so are the Giants.
Sam Darnold's their quarterback, dude.
Daniel Jones is the Giants
That's a win for the Giants.
I'm giving
him, just, you know what? Just give him the W.
No. The Giants aren't good enough.
Give him the W, Evan. Be a good guy. Give him the W.
The Giants aren't good enough to be handed a W over anybody.
I'm giving them a W.
I know there's excitement that there's a new coach and there's a new GM and there should be hope and optimism with them, but they're also not. They just caught their best defensive player because of cap purposes. Yeah. You understand that, right?
They might be 6-4, though.
Yeah, okay.
That's on the table for the Big Blue this year.
Okay.
And I agree. I think they're going to stink.
Yeah.
But I got to keep it real. Like, I don't dislike the Giants organization. I try to be objective.
Well, objectively, they've been bad.
I know. But I think schedule-wise, the New York Giants right now could be a 500 team going into the bye week. I think that's on the table considering Seattle doesn't have a quarterback. Jacksonville sucks. The Chicago Bears suck. Carolina sucks.
This is my favorite part.
There's your 4 wins right there.
This is my favorite part of schedule leaks. When guy goes on radio, looks at schedule and says, well, that's a win.
Well,
that's a win.
That, but I didn't say that.
That could be a loss.
That could be is what I said. I think you could make an argument right now that the pitiful New York Giants, worst record in the sport in the last 5 years, could be 500 at the bye and 6-4 after 10.
Okay.
I think that is a plausible
So they're better
if you're
than
a Giant
So
fan.
they're better than 6 teams in the National Football League, according to your estimation.
Say that again?
So they're better than 6 teams in the NFL, according to your estimation.
I said they could be.
Could be.
Yeah.
They could be 10-0.
No, they couldn't
I
be.
could wake up tomorrow and
Go ahead.
decide, you know what? I'm
What?
going to become a lawyer.
No, you couldn't.
I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen.
No, I'm keeping it real. They're not beating Tennessee in Tennessee.
It's
off the
probably
table.
not very real to consider.
They're not beating the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night. Sorry, you're going to lose. You're not beating the Green Bay Packers in Tottenham. You're going to lose. However, you could certainly beat Carolina. The Bears don't scare you. Jacksonville doesn't scare you. And Seattle doesn't scare you. So it's on the table. Not saying it will happen. They could be 0-10. The New York Giants are looking at the
They could
possibility.
also be 7-3
No, they
based
couldn't
on
be.
your logic.
No, because trust me on this. I'm an expert.
Yeah, okay.
I slept in a Holiday Inn Express last night, got lots of good shut-eye, and this is one of those places, like, you're the baseball guy.
Right.
Just be the baseball guy.
And what are you?
I'm the football
You're
schedule
the
guy.
football guy. You said the Jets
Yeah.
were going to win 10 games last year. You
Pretty
got
close.
disqualified.
Pretty close.
Really? They won 4.
Came pretty close.
No, you didn't.
They were in a lot of games.
Stop.
They got screwed in London by the refs
Oh, God.
against Atlanta. We all know that.
No.
We all saw it with our own 2 eyes.
No.
Yeah, we
You
did.
actually disqualified your football expertise when you came on the radio and said the Jets are going to win 10 games and Zach Wilson's Dan Marino. Now, maybe he'll turn into Dan Marino.
And then
I
what are you going to
certainly-
say? Oh, by the way, I apologize for being mean to my partner. He had it right 5 years ago.
If he turns into Dan Marino, I
Yeah.
will be so freaking excited.
Yeah.
I will hug you.
I don't want to hug.
will make out with you.
I don't want to make out.
I will be so
I
ecstatic.
want an admission. That's all.
okay, you'll get an
I want
admission.
recognition of my genius.
Yeah, but your genius also said
Because
the Jets were
remember
going to win
this,
10 games last
I've
year.
told you this many times in the year and a half we've been together.
What's
and it's
that?
only been a year and a half.
What's that?
I'm always right, but sometimes it takes a while for that to be
So
proven
let me
out.
get this straight. So when
Go.
you said the Jets were going to win 10 games in
said they
2021. No, you said they were going
And I
to.
had some. Wasn't there wiggle room in that, though?
There was
Yes, there was.
They won 4 games.
But hold on. There is a plus or minus 1 wiggle room on
And
that.
how many did they win?
They didn't win none.
Okay. So what you're trying to say is if they win 10 games this year,
Yeah.
you're technically right. You were just 1 year off.
I'm expecting more than 10 this year, but yes, I am technically right.
I love your logic.
Anyway, I just love the fact that we got ourselves some football to talk about because with football comes, the second annual something or other. And Mike and Lyndon's got the question about that. Mike, what's going on there, Cookie?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
What's up with you?
You guys are talking scheduling. We need to know when the next pig spanking is.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Great question.
And I think the Jets deserve a game. They were
Well,
left out
so
last
here's
year.
the rub on that. I agree. And Evan and I are both diehard Jet fans, so it makes sense for us. We should do it around the Jets. Here's the problem with that. WFAN is the home, as you know, of the New York Giants. So we are not technically allowed to do a promotion like the pig spanking around a Jet game in any official capacity. So
Yeah,
while
but they're
we
guaranteed wins.
I know.
They're
It's always a guaranteed win. It's 37-0. We've never lost a pig spanking game for the Jets or the Giants. But officially, we got to make it a Giant game, which then begs the question, which Giant game?
Here's what it's going to be. When the Jets have their bye week, that's when we're going to do the pig spanking for the Giants. So once that part of the schedule comes out, we will know for sure.
According to whom?
According to me.
You just made that declaration?
Did we do that last year?
No, we
Yes,
did
we
not.
did.
No.
Yes, we did.
I picked a game that I knew they were going to win.
No.
Yes.
Who'd the Jets play that
It
weekend?
had nothing to do with the Jets.
It had to do with the Jets.
No.
We wanted them off the schedule. We wanted all attention on the Giants. That's
I
exactly.
don't know where you came up with that since there was never a meeting on it.
No, it was. Listen, you don't realize this. A lot
Yeah.
of decisions that are made, I make. You just don't realize I'm making them.
Gosh.
And that was one of them.
Got
okay?
it.
I mean, come on. Like, I don't know how
Huh.
you didn't, fathom that it was not a coincidence. Now,
Really?
you are weakening the strength of the pig spank.
I've never lost a pig spank game. I don't intend to lose one this year.
Exactly, but you can't say what you just said.
What
You
did I
s-
say?
You said the reason we picked that game is you were confident the Giants were going to win.
I knew they'd beat the
No, no,
Raiders
no.
2 months before.
The pig spank needs to be so strong
Yeah.
that it doesn't matter who they're playing. Like, you can't admit that you handpicked the game.
I did, though.
Based on the opponent. Then
well,
that
the
weakens
Raiders were a playoff team last year. That was the genius of the pig.
No, but that weakens the pig spank.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. You just admitted you picked the game because of the opponent. That's not right.
No, I took the entire schedule into play, and I did a little decisive reasoning.
Yes.
Deductive reasoning.
Yes.
And it dawned on me, that's a win.
Why did it dawn on you that was a win?
I don't know, because it just dawned on me that was a good game to
you
win.
figured the Raiders were going to choke. That's what you figured.
I don't know what I figured.
You figured they're a bunch of choke artists. That's a perfect game for the Giants to win.
I'm thinking maybe December 11th against the Eagles.
Probably
could be a good
not.
pig spanking game.
Probably not.
I'm thinking December 4th against Washington.
That's a possibility.
Solid pig spanking game. But I think the obvious one is either November 13th or 20th, where the New York Giants play the Texans and the Lions at home.
Wait, hold on.
So I just got to pick one of them two. I'm good.
What week do they play the Texans?
The Texans?
Yeah.
Week 10.
The week after the bye week.
So what week is that? November
That's
10th?
officially week 10, November 13th.
You know what's perfect about that?
Yeah.
We will have just finished up with the parade
Which
about
parade?
a week earlier.
What parade are you talking
know
about?
Exactly what parade I'm talking
No,
about.
I don't. I have no idea.
The parade.
What parade?
For the team that won the World Series.
Yeah, but who's the parade going to be for?
a New York baseball team.
Which one?
One of them.
Because don't ever say in this show again, I never predicted a parade.
I am just talking about a parade.
Yeah, which one?
One of the baseball teams.
Yankees?
A team that wears pinstripes.
Yankees?
A baseball team.
Yankees?
A baseball team that uses the designated
Evan
hitter.
just predicted the New York Mets are winning the World
I
Series.
never said that.
You just forget about touching the money.
I never said that.
You just bathed in the money.
All I said was a baseball team may
Yeah.
have a parade the first week
So
of
you
November.
want to do the pig spanking the week after the parade?
It's like a perfect celebration after the parade to then have a pig spank. It kind of makes sense.
So November 13th against Houston, we go back to Reds for a pig spanking.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
That's what you're getting at?
I think that's what we're getting at. Yeah.
I think it's interesting how it's almost as if live in front of the entire audience, you are blossoming.
What does that mean?
You are spreading your wings and you're becoming a butterfly.
How am I blossoming?
Because now you're making demands. You're making executive decisions without any thought of anybody else. You're going back in time and changing history.
Yes.
I'm fascinated by it.
Changing history.
So if you want to do the pig spank
Yeah.
on November 13th, have at it.
I think November 13th makes sense, but let's just see when the jet buy is. I'd like it
Yeah.
on a jet buy week,
All
personally.
right. Oh, so
I think
selfish.
I also think that benefits the audience because a lot of non-Giant fans showed up at our pick spank because
A
it was
lot
an
did,
event.
you're right.
They wanted to hang out with Carden Roberts, and it was a great event. And we don't want to exclude Jet fans by them saying, hey, look, I can't go. The Jets are playing at a certain time. So I think we keep an eye on the Jet schedule leaks. As soon as you get the whole schedule, let
Yeah.
me know. And then we'll make a decision on when the pick spank is.
I love this because now I can just start showing up.
Yes.
I don't have to plan anything.
Correct.
I don't have to make any phone calls. I don't have to guarantee that someone picks the pig up in Brooklyn at 3 o'clock
Oh,
in the
no,
morning
you still have to do
and
that.
drives the pig to the event.
That's still on
I'm
you.
off.
No, that's on you.
You just tell me when and where to be.
I'm not doing that part.
Evan Roberts is now in charge of the pig spanking.
I'm only in charge
Wow.
of when the date is. That's
What
it.
a relief.
Everything else
What
is
a-
on you
all
and
the
Spike.
weight off my shoulders. I love it. You're going to book the band.
No, that's still
You're
on
going to
you.
make sure that everything's all set up right.
Nope, doing
You're gonna
nothing.
make sure Wendy's is there with some cornhole.
Nothing.
You're going to make sure Premio Sausage shows up with samples for everybody.
I can pull that one
You're
off.
going to make sure Jack Daniels is there with bottles of free whiskey.
I could do that.
You're going to make sure the pig gets cooked.
No, that's on you.
Oh, that's on me.
That's still
Okay.
on you.
So I'm responsible for the pig in the pig spanking.
You are responsible for the pig. I'm responsible for the scheduling. I'm analyzing the schedule. That's all. Outside of that, it's all on you.
Well, you're a diehard Jet fan. Do you care or do you not care? We have one primetime game. It's a December 22nd Thursday night game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Giants have the London game plus a Monday night game plus Thanksgiving against the Dallas Cowboys. Once again, the Jets not treated well. Coming to you live from the Town Fair Tire Studios, powered by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire, nobody. And let's acknowledge this. You saw something last night that we have not seen in this town in God knows how long. I mean, Evan can maybe check his research to give me a moment like we had last night.
Guts to take out the best player on your opposing team?
Season on the line, down 2, and in a 2-minute and 40-second span, the New York Rangers said, we will not go quietly into that good night. And they extend the series
Hold on.
for one more
You're
game.
just going to ignore the fact,
Woo!
and I commend it. I really don't have an issue with it, that Jacob Trouba basically said, look,
Was not a dirty play.
listen, we can't beat this team. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this beautiful elbow
Here
of
comes
mine.
the Islander fan coming out.
No.
That's all this is.
No.
That's all
I'm
this is.
commending Jacob Trouba. I'm commending the New York Rangers for saying, look, we got to get tough.
Yep.
We got to get feisty. So if I elbow Sidney Crosby and he falls down to the ice, that ain't my problem.
Nope.
And that's what the Troopster did. And look, whether he gets suspended or not, if Sidney Crosby doesn't play in Game 6, while the Penguins can still win, we've seen them succeed without Crosby when he's had concussion issues in the past, the New York Rangers have given themselves a better chance to win this series.
Sure.
That's a reality. Nothing I said right there was untort.
Untort?
Nothing. All I said was Jacob Trouba took a
It's
elbow,
not untort.
shoved it into the face of Sidney Crosby.
It was not dirty. He's not being suspended.
Did I say anything about dirty
I'm
or
just saying
suspension?
they announced it.
All I said was
no fine, no suspension. They're
No,
not even having an
clean it.
inquiry into it.
Clean it.
What have
Yep.
I said otherwise? All
Clean
I
it.
You said if
is,
he gets suspended or not. We're answering that question for you.
they're down 2-0. Do the New York Rangers win this game if Jacob Trouba doesn't say
Maybe.
to himself, look,
I mean,
I'm
certainly-
shoving an elbow in Sidney
Certainly
Crosby's
possible
face?
they could have.
Probably not. Though.
Could have happened. Could have happened.
Probably
Something
not.
happened all of a sudden where some switch got flipped somewhere, and they went on the offensive and started scoring goals.
The switch was the best player in the universe got nailed down to the ice, dirty or not, whatever, debate it. I don't care. Bottom line is it turned this entire series. And if you're a New York Ranger fan and you win Game 6 and you win Game 7, you don't give a rat's ass whether it was dirty or not dirty or whatever.
Well, it wasn't dirty. The league has already said it
Look,
wasn't
was Adam
dirty.
Graves' hit on Mario Lemieux dirty?
I mean, we're going back 20 years now to come up with a play.
It's actually the 30th anniversary tomorrow.
You're going back 30 years?
Believe it or not. No, but the
and
point
you expect
is,
people to remember that?
come on, that's a classic moment in Ranger Penguin history. The point is it doesn't matter.
Correct.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's dirty or not. If Sid is out for Game 6 and Sid is out for Game 7, not a guarantee you win the series.
No.
But your chances of winning the series are better.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just
all.
saying, let's give the Rangers a little credit. They came to life and they refused to go meekly the
I
way it
give them
looked like
credit.
they were going to go.
I give
Because
Filipino
for the first
credit.
period and a half, that was embarrassing.
Filipino said it before the game. We got to put some more pressure on this goaltender. We got to throw pucks at the net, and he backed it up, and the Rangers backed it up. Now let's see if Shesterkin can deal with those mean people in Pittsburgh.
Well-
because they're going to chant mean things at you, Igor.
We got lots cooking. We got all your calls. The NFL schedule has leaked out. At least we have the entire Giants schedule. We have some of the Jets, not the entire schedule just yet. Plus, you got the Rangers last night and lots of stuff in between.